your host, motherfucking Zane, the goddamn building, you feel me? Alright, we're gonna be doing some reactions, we're gonna have some conversations. Atlanta's biggest crash out, life is baby Kia. And we're gonna dissect a few things, like what's all on this screen right now. Hope everyone's good. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for viewing. 3 of y'all. Y'all are good people. Alright, I'm interested in this. Let's see what this white boy getting these niggas to divulge on the screens do.
Titled OD Crashing. I wanted to learn more about him and his new genre of music that he calls crash out music. So join me as I get a first-hand look inside Atlanta's self-proclaimed biggest crash out, Baby Kia. It's July 27th. My birthday's at midnight. Right now, I'm in Cleveland with the one and only Baby Kia. Let's go talk to him. BK.
What's happening, man?
So where we at right now?
We at Empire Park, but this shit in the middle of Bleeding though. We in the hood. We behind the hood, but we in the hood though.
For someone who doesn't know about Cleveland out of town, what would you say about it?
As you come back here playing and shit, your ass ain't gonna play no more. But as you come over here trying to get some money, you're gonna leave rich. It's 1,000 ways to get rich out here, boy. I swear to God, y'all niggas should not be broke. That little Willie, that day one Willie.
Willie.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Willie.
Stuck inside my head, don't know who faking, who a clown. Niggas broke, ain't got nothing going.
Talk to your fans, bro.
We really taking over this shit, man. Like, we out here really having fun. Y'all nigga bored. Y'all nigga rapping for no reason.
Y'all going to jail and spending y'all money with the crackers.
We spending all money on shit we love to do.
We having fun. We buying SRTs and shit. I would show y'all nigga my ride, but y'all nigga be hanged, bro.
You got an SRT?
SRT.
I got a 2013 Prius.
That's cool. Nah, he say he got a Prius.
That's fuel efficient as shit. Weren't you doing a show last night in North Carolina?
Yeah.
That's that BK, get him white.
I ain't never seen that shit before. I was trying to see it again.
So you're BK's manager?
Yeah.
What has it been like seeing his rise this year?
A beautiful thing, man. Just to see him like make some money off something that he never expected. And then just seeing the people like last night we was in Raleigh. These folk got the fight, man.
Why is everyone spiraling over YouTube banning ad blockers? Like, chill guys, just use pot.
No way in hell. No way in hell a self-respecting person would go to this shit.
Crash out is crash out music. Like a lot of folks like to say the crash out shit like bad shit. Like I told them like, nah, they're just like having a good time. People mosh pitting to the music, having a great time. It's not go out there and do nothing dumb shit and then you have to call somebody to send you some money.
We're intelligently crashing out.
We told you go to the party, go to the show and have a great time. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you're gonna do. You might get your ass whooped in the mosh pit, but don't go do nothing. They're gonna send your ass to jail.
This shit, a lot come with it. I be just living life day to day, I swear to God.
What advice would you give to an up-and-coming rapper in Atlanta?
Y'all nigga gotta take those ski masks off. I start wearing my ski mask, bro, cause for one, I ain't doing no more crimes for real. And I ain't hiding from nobody. Y'all nigga take that shit off, bro. If your hairline ain't fucked up, bro, y'all take that shit out, bro. You a hoe in real life. You, what the hell you just wearing that bit? Just getting Nike promotion, gang. Go get a bullshit ski mask. Is you ain't spending shit.
Baby Kia, where'd you get that name? I mean, one can assume you don't have to get too specific, but I'm assuming it has to do something with the vehicle.
Bitch.
The vehicle.
I ain't tripping, nigga. I ain't no juvenile no more. Fuck nigga got to catch up with me. Who? Big boy, Kia boy. Fuck a nigga talking about.
Big
I don't
Kia.
care what a nigga talking about. Hey, bitch, I ain't told on shit.
Yeah.
Better ask about me. Hey, Kia boy coming through. SRT. Hey, better move.
Kia boys.
Kia boys.
Kia boys.
Kia boys.
Warning for fellow Kia owners.
For those unaware, a Kia Boy is in reference to the nationwide trend of teenagers hijacking cars, particularly those manufactured by Kia between 2010 and 2021 due to the car's lack of an anti-theft device called an immobilizer.
For me, I could take that shit down in one shot, so it'd take 10 seconds.
Go get you any flat hat, any USB cord, and go get you any car you want.
You got it now.
You got the three-wheeler right here, bro.
This the stupidest $13,000 I ever spent in my life, I swear to God.
You do wheelies on that shit?
Y'all just see me coming through that motherfucker.
BK, Lakewood.
What, man? Y'all in the flesh.
How do you feel about your song OD Crashing? Because it's like gone so up, and I'm sure everyone talks to you about that song specifically.
I feel in my eyes that shit kind of brought the hood a little bit back together a little bit more like.
The unified people?
Nigga won't say it's because of Buddy, but like, shit, nigga we ain't really been like having it bit sideways how we supposed to like clearly known for. And now, everybody start like, they realize, man, what the hell, we tripping like, all right, let's do it, BK. Everybody got my back, we gone.
You still fuck with the song?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because some people are like, oh, I hate my most popular songs, da 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 da.
Nah, I love my most popular song.
I can't stop listening to it. Walk around bleeding with that stick. Extra bullets in my jumpsuit, I can't wait to let it hit. V12 barking up that street, you know that BK pull out smashing. Shoot the cameras out, then walk them down, nobody know what happened. Lakewood. That's hard not to listen to, bro.
Ain't it? That's what I said. So niggas who be hanging, that shit be crazy, bro.
They really say BK smokes crack?
I don't know what it is about white boys and hood niggas, but white boys can get it up out of a hood nigga easy. Granted, I don't think he's really telling anything, but it just, they feel so comfortable with white people that it makes me feel uneasy and makes me notice that they feel like the self-hatred that black people have for themselves is so crazy. Because he'd be like, boy, he'd be talking to a nigga like, boy, you sound like the feds. It's like, I hate you so much. Yeah, this is Chick-fil-A Cup.
Yeah, I get a lot of DMs about this shit, but I ain't doing no dope though. I be tripping though, but I ain't doing no dope. Hell no.
Give us the rundown. What made you want to tell Baby Kia to start rapping?
I ain't gonna count, he first rap really wasn't shit. Like, he wasn't screaming, so it would add, like, he came back on some screaming shit one time.
You found a sound.
Yeah, hell, y'all like, they be tripping there, all the whole dick around this shit. Like, I really like the whole. So long as the whole dick around his music, I'm like, we gotta make some more of this. He went to jail, he had made BK back on his phone, like,
Hey, want to know how I got this $50,000 check for an accident I was involved in over 5 months ago? Look, if you've been
like, they bit hard, so I'm like, let's just go to the studio real quick. We went to the studio, he rapped that bit, but he just on some lazy shit, like, hell no, I don't want to do it. Then we never dropped that bit, his dad just went back to his regular life, he stopped rapping. Then when he started rapping by himself, like, BK back, that motherfucker went viral on TikTok, and I kept telling his dad, like, we gotta keep going to the studio. We kept going to the studio, that shit worked out. It was on some have fun shit. We didn't on no make some money shit, cause I ain't even think you can make some money out of this shit.
You never thought it would be this big.
I ain't never thought it was gonna be that. I just thinking like, shit, it'll be big enough for us. You know, like, do we want, fuck how many hoes we want. I was just thinking about the hoes in this shit. Like, I wanted to fuck hoes.
Rapping is a cheat code for hoes out there.
Yeah, rapping is a cheat code for hoes, I'm telling you. All you gotta do is have some money, these hoes will let you fuck.
We gotta get the incels out there to start rapping.
Yeah, hell yeah, you gotta start rapping, man. Like, I ain't gonna tell y'all niggas start rapping. Start getting some money. Cause like, every nigga rapping, you ain't gonna get, it don't take 5 months to rap and get some money, twin. It take you a long time, gang. Unless God just gave you a gift. God gave him a gift. It ain't even take him that long.
Huh?
Let the camera know who you is.
Giovanni Jr.
Hold on, so y'all remember BK Music? You know what his song?
Walk down, bleed with that stick. Extra bullets in my jump, I ain't wait to let it hit. Bitch, your buck, you know, BK pull smash, shoot the camera, doctor, walk down, nobody know what happened. Lakewood.
Give us the rundown of the cookout right now. What we got going on?
Man, we just doing just something simple. Chicken, burgers, hot dog for these hot dog eating ass niggas. If you eat hot dog, you'll eat anything. So if you eat hot dog, don't say you don't eat pussy, cause yes you do.
Man, they got chicken wings out here. Got the sausages and the hot dogs. What do you call them?
It's soignon and glizzy right there.
What the hell's a soignon?
Yeah, that right there. We win that motherfucker.
These hot dogs are OD crashing right now.
These motherfuckers need to go to waste.
We got Skrilla on the phone right now. Skrilla. What's up, bro? Talk to the people, man.
My boy BJ, he next up. He that. My boy BJ.
100%. You saw Blah Da 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 Da's about to hit 2 million.
Yeah, we going crazy.
Yeah. Congrats, brother. Proud of you.
I love you, son.
Love you, bro. Fly safe. That's cool. I didn't even know that Skrilla and Baby Kia knew each other. It's all connected. I want to get your take on this. How do you feel about this? You fuck with that?
That was a fucking commercial, wasn't it?
BK, have it your way.
Oh shit, I ain't hear that. Nah, what it? Ain't that from Claritin D?
Burger King.
Oh,
I thought you could.
I ain't know.
I feel like we did take advantage of him more often than not. Because he looked stupid. And I'd edited that part out. It amazes me.
Burger King type of nigga though. I like McDonald's. Do I eat Burger King?
Hell nah.
Well, you know,
I eat Burger King though.
You know the theme song? BK, have it your way.
I thought that was the Claritin D goddamn.
You could sample that.
That's the fucking Burger King commercial.
Sample that.
Nah. I fuck with McDonald's though. Fuck Burger King.
We're throwing
I'm Team
M's.
McDonald's, nigga.
Burger King's the top op right now.
Fuck Burger King.
How do you feel about Donkey Kong? DK.
What the fuck is Donkey Kong?
You don't know Donkey Kong?
That's a place? A food place?
No, it's like the video game character.
Oh shit.
Donkey Kong, DK.
That nigga ass be tripping. Ain't he a donkey though?
He's a big monkey.
A monkey?
You think you can run the fade with Donkey Kong?
I blitz Donkey Kong ass right in the jaw scrap. 10 mil.
Pop his top.
Yeah, nah, he jaw. Shoot Donkey Kong ass right in the jaw. 10 mil. Bought it. I like geek shit, street shit. Make you whole want to eat my meat type shit.
I heard through the grapevine you liked an old.
There's just no way in hell that. There's just no way in hell. I refuse to believe that black hood niggas feel so comfortable with white boys. It's the weirdest shit. Oh yeah. That's just Hollywood. Yeah, we can do thoughts. Let's review this.
Luke, Kirk.
Coffee, please.
Coming right up.
Luke, you shouldn't have.
I had to. You're drinking me out of business.
Ha. With top brands they'll love from Walmart, give the gift that shows you get them. Welcome.
Walmart, cut the fucking shit.
Your Walmart.
The family of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare who was shot and killed in New York City on Wednesday, has shared a statement in the wake of the shooting. On Thursday, Minnesota NBC affiliate KARE obtained a statement from the Thompsons, taped to the front door of their Minnesota home. It read, "We are shattered to hear about the senseless killing of our beloved Brian. Brian was an incredibly loving, generous, talented man who truly lived life to the fullest and touched so many lives. Most importantly, Brian was an incredibly loving father to our 2 sons and will be greatly missed. We appreciate your condolences and request complete privacy as our family moves through this difficult time." Also on Thursday, the New York Police Department released new photos of a person of interest wanted for questioning regarding the shooting, encouraging anyone with information to call in, with a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction in the case. Meanwhile, New York NBC affiliate WNBC obtained surveillance video, which they claim appears to show the suspected shooter riding down a New York City street near Central Park West. Thompson was killed outside of a hotel in Midtown Manhattan before 7 a.m. on Wednesday. The 50-year-old businessman was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. In a press conference that morning, NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch spoke about the shooting and the investigation.
In Midtown Manhattan early this morning, 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health.
Let's be 100% honest. No one should mourn his death, to be honest. All insurance CEOs, all CEOs, period. The poor is going to eat the rich. That's something that should stay in the back of their heads. Because you do stuff to destroy people. You do stuff to deny people. And you do stuff to... What's the word? To use people. People are just profit and gains, revenue. They're not human beings. The private sector is just awful to people. And the people that are at top of the private sector, they don't see people as humans. They see them as little bits and pieces in the machine. America is not welcoming to the poor. It's not welcoming to the middle class. And it's not welcoming to anybody in between that. It's only rich. It's only the rich. And that's pretty much around the world, where the rich feast on the poor. And it's the weirdest thing because money is such a figment of our imagination. Yet we idolize it, strive for it, kill for it, steal for it, all of the above, to get pieces and scraps where people have giant plates, buildings, skyscrapers, houses, cars. I don't feel bad for this man. He's put in place policies and procedures, protocols to deny, to stop, and to propagate bad judgment calls, to not save people, to destroy people's families. I can't feel bad for him. He didn't feel bad for nobody else.
Was shot and killed in what appears, at this early stage of our investigation, to be a brazen, targeted attack. This does not appear to be a random act of violence. The victim was in New York City to speak at an investor conference. It appears the suspect was lying in wait for several minutes. And as the victim was walking to the conference hotel, the suspect approached from behind and fired several rounds, striking the victim at least once in the back and at least once in the right calf. Many people passed the suspect, but he appeared to wait for his intended target. The suspect fled, first on foot, then on an e-bike, and was last seen in Central Park on Center Drive early this morning. The victim was removed to Roosevelt Hospital, where he was pronounced. We've been in touch with his family, his friends, and his colleagues, and they are very much in our thoughts and prayers at this hour. The full investigative efforts of the New York City Police Department are well underway, and we will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case. The women and men of the NYPD take enormous pride in the work that they do each day and each night to drive down crime and violence in our city. Right now, we are asking the public for your help. If you have any information about this case, call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIP.
You know, people was probably like, bitch, we ain't doing shit. Why the fuck are we gonna help out a person that's denied my mom, my grandma, my uncle, my cousin, my niece, me, my claims? Fuck out of here. You pieces of shit. She's a piece of shit, he's a piece of shit, and he's most definitely a piece of shit. And that's fine. I know it's a person that has something happen to them or their family member. It is what it is, alright. Trump on tariffs. Let's get this out the way. For the people that voted for Trump and believe Trump would lower cost, let's explain why this won't happen.
This is what your iPhone videos look like, but this is what it could look like if you know what buttons to press.
Gigabit falls into kind of the electronics category, which includes computers, cell phones, cellular. Very sharp tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, our three largest trading partners. And just the Chinese component, we're talking about China first, because Mexico and Canada, different issues in play. First with China. We don't like China. China doesn't like us very much. And the Trump tariffs, if they're implemented on the Chinese merchandise exports that come to the United States, roughly $500 billion a year, it would increase the average cost of living for the average American, every man, woman, and child, by about $1,000 a year. Now, the stuff that comes from China, like I said, mostly manufactured goods, almost exclusively. The bulk of it falls into kind of the electronics category, which includes computers, cell phones, cellular technology, also white goods, consumer goods, and a degree of parts that can go into pretty much anything. The Chinese have a very predatory trade system, so overall support from the United States citizenry is likely to be pretty high despite the cost of this. And this is a more traditional tariff goal here. The Trump administration has long wanted to reroute global trade flows, specifically where China is involved, and that means punishing the Chinese until alternatives can be generated. But therein lies the rub. No American trade policy going back to World War II has ever been very good at building that alternative system. So we'll punish people that we think are doing unfair trade purposes, but those punishments are designed to get them to dismantle those trade policies so that we can get back to something that's more fair and normal. And that is not the goal this time around. The goal here is to permanently relocate industrial plant. So simply throwing on a tariff and throwing the money to a general fund doesn't do that. You're going to have to also build a complementary industrial policy that takes some of the income and uses it to build a long-term alternative. In this, there's a challenge and an opportunity. First, the challenge. The things that China does, it doesn't do by itself. It's got relatively low-cost wages, especially for its mode of production. It's actually not a very profitable industrial power. It only managed to get to where it is now and maintain its position through a massive amount of subsidies. And if those subsidies were to go away, you would see a mass deindustrialization of China, which would probably lead to the end of the political system. So the Chinese aren't even going to consider that. And that is ultimately what a normal trade policy would do. So if you want to overpower that, you not only need a fairly steep tariff rate, much higher than the 10 to 25% that the Trump's team is suggesting right now, you also have to build an alternative. And when it comes to things like electronics assembly and components creation, the United States is not a very competitive player in that market because our labor, to be perfectly blunt, is too highly skilled. So is Canada's, so is Mexico's. And so you're going to have to develop a different model, and to do that quickly is very difficult and very expensive. But there is some low-hanging fruit. The Chinese dominate not just the electronics manufacture and assembly, but also materials processing, turning bauxite into aluminum, turning cobalt into cobalt metal, turning lithium into battery chassis, that sort of thing. Now, this is something that the U.S., the rest of the world, has largely stepped back from for two reasons. Number one, it takes up some space and it's environmentally damaging, and so there's a regulatory angle. And number two, if the Chinese are willing to pollute their environment and enslave their workers and subsidize the industry, why in the world would you compete with them on that space when they're just going to do it so much cheaper and suck up all the pain and hand you the end product anyway? Now, there's some problems with that argument. The Chinese have discovered that this gives them a degree of leverage in trade talks that they haven't had before, but there's nothing about rebuilding this capacity somewhere else that is difficult or even expensive. One of the things we've seen in the United States with the shale revolution is we produce a huge amount of excess natural gas, and we have the cheapest natural gas in the world, and from that, the cheapest electricity in the world. And so we have spent the last 15 years changing our chemicals industry to run on that stuff whenever it's possible as opposed to oil. And now in 2024, the United States is by far the largest producer and highest quality producer and lowest cost producer of all the intermediate chemical inputs that go into modern manufacturing. But it took the free market 15 years to make that happen. We want to do it faster for everything else. And that means having an industrial policy that captures the Chinese tariffs and uses it to help build that supporting infrastructure that we're going to need. It's low-hanging fruit. We need to do it anyway. The Chinese are not going to be around much longer. And even if they were, we wouldn't want them to have the leverage that they have. But that means building up a huge amount of industrial plant. Now, in the case of something like, aluminum, you're only talking about a few.
The CIA has particular skills in developing relationships. Life is all about relationships.
All right, we're trying to drone today. Today is part 2 of the Trump's tariff series. Yesterday we covered China and discussed how what Trump is achieving there is an industrial reorganization, and tariffs may actually, in the right policy combination, work for that. That's very different from what's going on with Mexico and Canada. Mexico and Canada are number 2 and number 1 trading partners. collectively, if the tariffs that Trump says he's going to put on actually happen and there is no retaliation, we're looking at something along the lines of roughly a $1,500 hit to every man, woman, and child in the United States. So potentially big. It'll hit some industries more than others. Automotive is definitely the one that will get hit the most because there's a lot of products, especially in U.S.-Mexico trade, where intermediate products go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth across the border. And the administrative cost of imposing a single 25% would be huge. It would be easier just to do every time something crosses. So all of a sudden you're adding $5,000 to $10,000 to the cost of a vehicle that is made in North America. So it's an inflationary issue, it's an employment issue, it's an industry issue, and there is no version of the future of the United States that is post-China that does not involve Mexico and Canada very, very strongly. And keep in mind that Trump put his name on the most recent trade deal with both countries. That's NAFTA too. So potentially very, very, very big. However, what Trump is attempting to achieve with Mexico and Canada is not the same as what he's trying to achieve in China. In China, he's actually trying to move industry. He doesn't seem to have a problem with the manufacturing supply chains we have here in North America. His concern is he wants to use the lever or the hammer of trade and tariffs to get progress, in his view, on immigration, on migration, and especially on fentanyl. And so basically it's an if this, then that. Now that's not a crazy idea. In fact, there is a couple of reasons to expect it to work. First off, that's the whole concept of globalization in the Cold War, is that the United States used its Navy to patrol the global oceans to force open international trade, including our own market. And we would do this for you if, in exchange, you would allow the United States to write your security policies. And that was the policy right up until 1992. Now, we got away from that in the post-Cold War era where free trade became a goal in and of itself. Trump basically wants to dial the clock back 35 years and start renegotiating what security policies mean to include migration and fentanyl. And the idea that you can do that makes a lot of sense because the United States is the only large, rich, consumption-led economy on the world. And that means that the U.S. president, whoever that happens to be, has a huge amount of negotiating room to get what he wants, whatever the issue happens to be. So you want access to this market? That's fine. You have to do X, Y, Z, A, B, and C, and you have to do that maybe first. The question is time frame. In the case of Mexico, it's probably going to work because it's worked before. In Trump's first term, he tried something very similar on migration issues and forced a deal with the then president, López Obrador. We now have a new president, Claudia Sheinbaum, who is much better at math than her predecessor. So it's just a question of how these two.
So to put it in simple terms, it may or may not work. Leaning towards not working. And this is going to be a shit show of a year. It is what it is.
Fortnite Chapter 6
Hey, I'm Sophie, and I'm one of the AI voices from Revoicer. My voice sounds so natural because
Do you recognize this photo?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Was that the remembrance of September 11th?
It was.
Was it in New York?
It was at Ground Zero.
Okay. Who is usually at an event like this closest to the President of the United States, security-wise?
The SAC of the detail.
Special agent in charge of the detail. Were you the special agent in charge of the detail that day?
Actually, let me address this. Could you please, staff, leave that? Oh, no, leave that one up with the circle around me. Thank you. So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the SAC of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you,
Congressman.
were you the special agent in charge?
To show respect
You were not.
for a Secret Service
that's a bunch of
member
horse hockey.
that died on 9/11.
Oh, that you're trying to be.
Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes.
Oh, I'm not. I'm invoking this.
You are, sir.
Gentlemen,
And you are out of line.
I would like to ask him a question. Please.
You are out of line,
Congressman. Don't try to bully me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are playing politics.
I am a public servant who has served this nation, and
you won't answer the question.
On our country's darkest day.
Committee will come to order.
Committee
will come to order. I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that day?
No, I wasn't. I was there representing the United States Secret Service, sir.
Mr. Fallon, your time's expired.
It did not affect protective operations.
You know why you were there? Because you wanted to be visible, because you are auditioning for this job.
I was there to pay respect for a fallen member of this agency.
You endangered
You are
President
out of line,
Biden's life,
Congressman.
Vice President Harris's life, because you put those agents out of position.
Mr.
Did you have a radio with you?
Mr. Fallon, your time has
expired. You have a weapon?
Mr.
I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Please.
All right. And we are back
You're
in
a
order
bully.
now. We are back in order now.
Thank you.
Mr. Moskowitz, you are now recognized for 5 minutes.
That dude, he was like, hey, it's getting crazy in here.
Why is everyone spiraling over YouTube banning ad blockers? Like, chill guys, just use Pi. It's a free Chrome extension that's actually made by one of the founders.
The former president was shot.
Sir, this could have been our Texas school book depository. I have lost sleep over that for the last 17 days,
Then
just like you
fire
have.
somebody to
and I will
hold them
tell you,
accountable.
Senator,
This shit is playing like a fucking TV show. It's like Scandal. I'm loving it. Makes you want to become a politician. So you're like, yo, you I'll be in there doing, bro. I'll do papers on the ground, spit on somebody. Fuck you. You are well protected. Fucking God. I'll say crazy shit. Crazy shit.
Who was the lead site agent who made the decision to leave the AGR building completely outside of the security perimeter? Who was that?
Senator, I cannot give you that name. This person is operational. They're still doing investigations. They're still doing protective visits.
Have they been relieved of duty?
Senator, they have not been relieved of duty.
I know their name, by the way. Why have they not been relieved of duty?
They are still cooperating, not only being interviewed by the FBI, but also by our Office of Professional Responsibility. And we will let the facts of the mission assurance and any further investigations play out.
Isn't the fact that a former president was shot, that a good American is dead, that other Americans were critically wounded, isn't that enough mission failure for you to say that the person who decided that that building should not be in the security perimeter probably ought to be stepped down?
Senator, I think you're using the word decided, and I think we need to allow the investigation play out to include.
Who did make the decision then? If it wasn't the lead site agent, who made the decision not to put that in the security perimeter?
Senator, you're zeroing in on one particular agent. I want to find out exactly what was the entire decision process. So I think I want to be neutral and make sure that we get to the bottom of it and interview everybody in order to determine if there was more than one person who perhaps exercised bad judgment.
As the person who made the decision to send Donald.
Keith Lee said there's not good food in New York. I feel like he is a blatant fucking lie. And since he can only wrestle, nigga, get in the boxing ring. So I'll sock you out my damn self. What did Kendra say? I'll sock you niggas up. Rising for El Chapo. Yeah, he was paid. Yeah. This is crazy. This is really crazy. U.S. Everybody's getting real Forbes. I wonder if I could play Forbes.
We've got passion, we've got determination. Like, and if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
Slipped below his nose. This flight attendant came up to my wife and said if she didn't keep that mask over his nose at all points on this 4-hour flight, she would personally see that my wife was banned from flying. This has happened over and over to families. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And your attitude here today seems to be, well, devil may care. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, I think we are going to do something about it. So how much have you paid people to pull out customers who are in line with a bag that's 2 centimeters too big, Mr. Schroeder?
Well, we recognize this is a hard job, and so therefore we incentivize them to do that.
How much?
It's $10 per bag.
Wow, $10 per bag. And I think, Mr. Klein, you and Mr. Schroeder, your airlines cumulatively have spent $26 million paying gate agents between 2022 and 2023 to catch passengers whose bags are a little bit too big. $26 million. I mean, if people want to know why it's such a terrible experience to fly, this is news for them today. Your airlines are paying millions of dollars to your employees to harass people who've already paid. They're there in line because they've already paid. It's unbelievable. By the way, let me just ask you this while I have you here. Why is it that you charge different people different fees for carry-on bags? Why is that, Mr. Klein? Why isn't it just a flat fee? Why is it that I might get charged one fee, but my wife might get charged a different fee? Why is that?
So overall, our job is to generate the most revenue we can so we can be profitable as an airline. If we're not profitable actually, we have costs, and there's costs out there, and we have to make sure that we're above the cost line in order to make sure that we can run a profitable entity.
Yeah, I got it. No, I got it. I got it. And money's the answer. So last year, your carry-on bag fees ranged between $15 and $99. That's extraordinary. One person might pay $15, somebody else might pay.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Why haven't we ate these niggas from the ass up? I was wondering why that bitch was at the airport tripping over a fucking bag. I'm like, bitch, why are you making me pay $99 for my motherfucking bag, you stupid hoe? This bitch tripping. For $10? That means she's done it to, let's say, she targets people, which is very foul. Let's say she works from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., does a double, so it's 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Out of that, she sees about 5,000 people. Out of that 5,000 people, she targets 20%. What is 20%? Fuck it, let's do 30%. What is 30% times 5,000? It's 1,500 people times $10. So she's getting about $15,000, let's say, in a couple months. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them.
99. How do you determine it? Is it based on personal characteristics?
It's
you charge
never
women more?
It's never based on personal characteristics.
You charge minors more?
We do not, sir.
What? Just people who are suckers? I mean, how do you do it?
Well, there is a cost to carry any kind of bag.
Yeah, but why do you charge some people more? I understand the cost, and you made clear money's your bottom line. I get that, but why is it that you're charging some people what, triple, quadruple the amount?
Well, the length of the flight should matter in this as well. So
yeah, but that's not the data. The data shows is we're talking about the same people on the.
So let's get this straight. You want government to be smaller, but you also want private big corporations to rain hell on you. Fuck y'all. Fuck you. You stupid pieces of shit.
Flight might get charged radically different prices for a one carry-on bag. You do the same thing for check bags. Why is that?
Right. So just for the record, the $99 charge has been reduced to $79 as a maximum.
That's a lot better.
And what ends up happening here is we want to make sure that we can get the best price to the best people at the right time.
The best people? Who would they be?
Sorry, let me rephrase. The right price.
Are those the people who, what? I mean, no, explain it to me. I'm interested. Who are the best people?
Well, that was the misstatement, sir.
What we're trying to do is get the right price
at the right time. And what that also means is making sure that if someone's on a flight that's now filling up, and we have a lot of, as we talked about, unbundled pricing, and they get
screwed. So, like, if you have the misfortune of having to book your flight at the end because maybe something's been canceled, then you're going to get screwed. Is that what you're telling me? You're not one of the best.
Are you referencing just fares?
I'm just responding to your testimony. I'm listening to you, and you just said as a flight's filling up, you're going to get charged more.
Not always. Sometimes you'll get charged less.
Exactly. Right. Sometimes. Right. But you'll never know. Right. That's the beauty of it. It's like Russian roulette. Flying on the airline is.
I would disagree,
you have no idea in the world.
I would disagree.
Wait, no idea. You just said it.
It's very transparent.
We'll have it. Listen, there'll be a transcript generated, and I'll send it to you with a bow on it. You can read your own testimony just now. You have no idea what the fee is going to be ever. Mr. Schroeder, what about you? Your airline charges, sometimes it's $0 for a bag checked. Sometimes it's $99 for a bag checked. On a first, sorry, that's carry-on. Excuse me, carry-on. For check bag, it could go from $0 to $138. Who knows what it's going to be? Why do you vary it so much? Is that fair to the consumer?
So it depends again on routes, and so there's just demand around that.
No, but that's not true. We're talking about people on the same flights. Their prices may vary by huge astronomical percentages. Why is that?
Well, that happens on airfare as well, and
it does.
Ancillary historically has brought the fare down, and I brought up earlier that nearly 50% of people are not paying for a bag or a seat. We are providing options that people are deciding whether they want that or not. That is increasing the ability for people to travel.
Listen, my time is limited, and I know the chairman, Senator House, and want to ask more questions. I just want to point out to you that you are charging people for the same thing, one checked bag or one carry-on bag on the same flight. People are paying wildly different prices for it. They have no idea what it's going to be. I think people will be amazed to learn today that if they fly on your airline or yours, Mr. Klein, heck, the guy next to him may be paying $15 for the carry-on bag, and they may be paying $80. Last thing, Mr. Chairman, I know you're indulging me. I'll be really quick on this, but Mr. Schroeder, you just mentioned that you also use this so-called dynamic pricing for seats, for seat fees. Why do you make people enter in their age and their geographic location and their gender before they can even see the cost of a seat? Why is that?
That's been in place since 2014.
Yeah, but why? It's because you're using those personal characteristics to generate the fees?
No, absolutely.
To generate the prices? Well, then why else do you require it? Mr. Klein, you do the same thing. Why is the gender relevant to what the seat is?
This is all information that's needed in order to complete the transaction.
No, it's not. Delta doesn't do it. United doesn't do it. You don't need somebody's gender in order to do it. You use it, clearly. You're using it to generate the prices, right?
We do not, sir.
It's not based on personal characteristics?
Not at all.
You don't use algorithms to set the price of seats?
That's a different question.
So you do use an algorithm and you do make them enter all their personal information?
What's your definition of algorithm, sir?
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, because algorithms... Algorithms are ways for people to be able to come up with calculations, which is a faster way. It's more efficient than a human being doing the same exact work. So, I'm trying to answer your question, sir, in all sincerity, and I don't know how else to answer it.
Issue, Mr. Schroeder, Mr. Klein, because I have to say I didn't understand your answers. I thought you said to the chairman earlier that you did say in your opening statement that there was a lot of misinformation about this out there, Mr. Schroeder, and I thought you said, Mr. Klein, that you don't charge bounties. So can we just clear this up once and for all? We're all here, we're all under oath. So, Mr. Schroeder, let's start with you. Do you charge a bounty? Do you pay employees bounties on carry-on bags to identify them?
Well,
That's a yes or no.
I wouldn't characterize it as a bounty.
Do you charge them, do you pay your employees a fee? Do you incentivize them to go pick out bags from people getting on planes and kick them off the flight? Just yes or no?
We charge them an incentive.
Okay, that's a yes.
We do not, Senator Hawley.
You don't pay your employees to do that?
We have previously, sir, but we actually suspended that on September 30th of this year. And now in order to be able to treat all of our guests fairly and equitably, we've actually just put more staff and supervisors out at the gate area. And they're the ones that are still making sure that everyone's treated fairly and equitably, which is the point behind these kinds of programs. But we have removed that program as of September 30th.
Oh, interesting. So let's come back to you, though, Mr. Schroeder. So how much have you paid your gate agents to enforce your carry-on bag policy, to pick people out of the line like the chairman's video showed? I mean, you guys do appreciate that flying on your airlines is a disaster, don't you? I'm slightly amazed by the general attitude of all of you here. Flying on your airlines is horrible. It's a terrible experience. I mean, I say this as a father of 3 young children, but I can't tell you, nobody enjoys flying on your airlines. It's a disaster. You charge people fees that they know nothing about. You harass them to death. I'll never forget, Mr. Johnson, during COVID, when an attendant on your airline threatened my wife because our then 5-year-old son, his mask had slipped. This is back when we all had to wear those ridiculous masks. His mask had slipped below his nose. This flight attendant came up to my wife and said, if she didn't keep that mask over his nose at all points on this 4-hour flight, she would personally see that my wife was banned from flying. This has happened over and over to families. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And your attitude here today seems to be, well, devil may care. There's nothing we can do about it. Well, I think we are going to do something about it. So how much have you paid people to pull out customers who are in line with a bag that's 2 centimeters too big, Mr. Schroeder?
Well, we recognize this is a hard job, and so therefore we incentivize them to do that.
How much?
It's $10 per bag.
Wow. $10 per bag. And I think, Mr. Klein, you and Mr. Schroeder, your airlines cumulatively have spent $26 million paying gate agents between 2022 and 2023 to catch passengers whose bags are a little bit too big. $26 million. I mean, if people want
Mr. Schroeder don't want to answer no questions. Says he $26 million. There's some rampages. I might do a little rampaging job. I'll be your bag's still big. I'll tackle somebody. I'll bite them on the ear like Mike Tyson. Give me a bag, bitch. Nah. Yeah, this is sick. Upcharging flight fees, making shit that's crazy. 2000 for a sneaker collection. He's becoming famous. I wonder if he's a Democrat or Republican. Sean, what's his name? Senator Josh. Senator Josh. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's searched. That's a 44. Let's see. Missouri. He might be a Republican. Oh, Party Republican. I knew it. That's funny, but he's not saving grace for these motherfuckers. He's like, yo, what the fuck? What is Robert F. Kennedy saying?
This is my hack for working smart, Monday.com. Let me show you how I use Monday.com to create a tailor-made workflow.
David, all thighs on me. Flock of belly, now you famous. Type of creep nigga is you. How are you and Dave related? Nigga, no means no. You should've told him not to take it. I'm really in the field, you niggas stuck inside the matrix. From BET to the Knicks, down in Compton, where your face is. That nigga Weird Jala got some freaky ass cases. Trying to fake fight Lush, cause Adam wanted you to face. You wanna be like academics, making videos like point and shoot.
I'm sorry, we got Charlemagne, the guy talking about Drake and academics, or Drake and Maul. Drake and Rory. Let's go. Let's get into what Charlemagne got to say.
Get into a rap beef with another MC, Kendrick Lamar's. Chick Smooth. Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing.
Let's see. Finally doing that to them. Been a long time coming. Let's see. What was it? I was just about to look it up too. Let's see what this thing is doing. Joe Budden is so unathletic, and they say he go. What? Oh, that's what it was. Andrew Schultz.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20 handpicked products that are trending all over the world, basically validated by AI from a trending product database from one of the top vendors on the planet. And the reason that we can do this completely free for you is because, well, Shopify is paying me to do it. You've probably seen me before because for the last year, Shopify has loved the AI.
There's a pretty big thing going on. Huh? Yeah, between Kendrick Lamar. Laws were written. Laws were written. I don't like him pretending he doesn't know what the fuck's going on with his little milk mustache. It's just been pissing me off. Okay?
Was it on there?
Now listen, guys, we gotta take this seriously. Listen, rappers are telling comedians we need to be more respectful to women. So we gotta sit back and reflect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're the most pious group.
Listen, nobody has respected women more. Through art.
Yes.
Than rappers, okay?
Absolutely.
So I completely understand how a rapper could look at a comedian telling a joke and be like, yo, y'all need to switch that shit up.
Yeah.
How dare y'all keep saying your wives are annoying? Be more like us and, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. I beat my bitch with a stick, what? You can lick on the nuts or suck the dick. I beat my bitch with a stick, what?
Did you just think of that?
That's a real lyric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a real lyric from music that protects women. and for decades protects what. And listen, right now the guy on top, Kung Fu Kenny,
he is the guy on top.
He is the guy.
He is making sure that comedians, he put a law in.
Yeah.
He put a law in place.
All right, let's see the exact line, okay?
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English,
Okay.
he is saying, I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black
So
woman.
he's basically saying all white comedians
Are only allowed to
talk about black women.
exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about, Kendrick.
We're back.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands
It's a law.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
That makes
Because
sense.
he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan
That's
if he's
true.
going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fact.
But Al, you're getting groomed right now. We need to ungroom you.
Yeah, you are getting
We need to
groomed.
ungroom you right now.
Let's see.
Okay?
Let's see.
I mean that, listen, because he sent people, he says slide on. What he said, slide on, where's the line? Where's the line? He goes, let me get it. I'm so old I had to squint my eyes. And that was not a racist joke. Okay, the N-words that being groomed, slide on both of them. Whoa, that seems like a call to violence.
It does.
Why would he call to, if he's about protecting black people, why would the call to violence be towards the black dudes, not the white guy making the joke?
Well, you gotta understand.
What?
Well, no. You gotta understand.
Because I snitch, I cooperate, I tell.
Litigation.
Okay? You go squabble up in a jail cell.
Here's what you gotta understand about Ken. It's very important to him to protect black women. That's why he's never done a song with an abuser confirmed. He's never done a song with anybody that's suspected of abuse. He's never threatened to remove his music from Spotify because they removed R. Kelly's music, who for sure fucked and held captive underage black women.
Hold on.
This is all very important to Kendrick.
Wait a minute, just let me understand what's going on here, because I think that you're using sarcasm as a comedic device.
It is a comedic device.
But you're so fucking smart right now that I don't know if you're serious or making jokes. Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and
Oh, yeah.
of R. Kelly? And actually, in reality, he would take his own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Someone who's kidnapped,
A sexual
molested,
predator? Yeah.
and black women?
Oof, children.
Are you saying that he's done songs with other men who have potentially put hands on black women?
Not potentially, confirmed.
Wait a minute, convicted?
Yeah, I don't know what you call Chris Brown, but yeah, whatever that is.
Not breezy! Not breezy! I took a picture with Chris Brown. Hey, bro, I took a picture with him immediately.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
We ain't protecting nobody. Y'all can protect your fucking selves.
Everybody gets these jokes over here.
Yo, this guy been telling me for a year straight Indians fuck mud. What you gonna do?
Listen, they going down on it too. I've seen a lot of videos of them eating mud pussy, bro. They literally put their head in the mud straight, reverse, back handspring.
At least.
I wonder how academics is gonna react to this. When did this come out?
Picture this.
Together. In one place?
ESPN Plus content is now on Disney Plus.
And congratulations, you played yourself today. It looks like we're spending time on Kendrick Lamar and his album GNX, where he says on Whacked Out Murals, never let a white comedian make fun of a black woman, that's law.
I heard that.
And multiple white comedians jumped out, thought that Kendrick was talking about.
Really?
I saw Gary Owen had something to say.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be a joke. He had to be goofing.
And then Andrew Schultz, I mean, he had time.
Really?
He had time. Both of them get the button, though.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
What? I can't speak to the Gary Owen thing at all. But the
well, because my thing is like you don't even know if he's talking to you. That's the thing about the Kendrick Lamar album we've been covering for the last few days. Everybody's trying to figure out what he's saying. That's the whole gag. Everybody's like, is he saying this? Does he have a double album coming out? Is he paying homage to this? Wait, maybe he's doing this. Maybe he's doing that. That's the whole gag.
Right.
That is true. I'm
Andrew, fuck off. And the black dude, he was a bitch. I had to digest what I was seeing and hearing and come up with those spectacular words.
confident he was talking about the Andrew Schultz thing. Shauna, you have an Andrew Schultz response?
I do.
Well, what was the Andrew Schultz thing initially?
Oh, the thing that was a big
thing.
You never saw this on your Twitter days?
I just recently saw him talking about black men hairline and them losing their hair because they're stressed out by black women.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was sitting around talking about black women and basically talking to these two black British podcasters.
Yeah.
And while he was saying all these things about black women, how he had dated women, and more or less in a quote-unquote joking fashion, running down black women and how challenging they are, these two dudes sat there laughing and having a good time with him, which was what led to the Kendrick line.
You're sure?
I feel my Kendrick Dar is telling me
Kendrick Dar
is telling me 99% because that was a very big clip.
The K. Dar.
Yeah, the K. Dar. My K. Dar.
The British comedians ended up even apologizing, I think.
Yeah, they did.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, my K-Dar is saying that's what he was talking about when he says, don't let no white comedian talk about black women.
That's law.
That's law, exactly. And then this is, I assume this is what Schultz said yesterday.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English, he's saying, I can talk about black women. And that's law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black women.
So he's basically saying all white comedians
are only allowed to
talk about black women.
Exclusively.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands
it's a law.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
That makes sense.
Because he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan if he's going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
Yep.
What he said, slide, where's the line? Okay. The N-words that coon, the N-words that being groomed, slide on both of them. Whoa, that seems like a call to violence.
It does.
Why would he call to, if he's about protecting black people, why would the call to violence be towards the black dudes, not the white guy making the joke?
Well, you gotta understand.
What?
No. You gotta understand.
Because I snitch.
I cooperate. I tell.
Yeah, litigation.
Okay? You go squabble up in a jail cell.
So he goes on to, after that, in our classic Our Show fashion, not getting to the meat of the entire thing. After that, he then basically talks about how small Kendrick Lamar is, and while he could certainly get beat up by the people who Kendrick rolls with, if he wanted to, he could sexually have his way with Kendrick. And if they were in prison, he could have sex with Kendrick Lamar. And
these are the moments that make up the story of your life. But as you...
And Ebro, you're laughing.
This is why I say we need segregation.
now you wouldn't have been laughing at the clip. It's not just because it's not very funny. It's like
I'm laughing because in true shock value comedian fashion, right? He's not gonna acquiesce to this. And you know what I always call this audio? White boys white boying. That's what I always say this, because it just sounds like a bunch of white dudes sitting around trying to figure out how to have an angle on something that they're not involved in at all.
Well, if it makes you feel any better with Andrew Schultz, it's never a bunch of white guys. He's the white guy with a bunch of brown and black guys standing there to be his cover. So you have it slightly off, but it's the same guy. He's got the guys who sit with him on the couch to laugh, to give him the pass, to be able to say the things that he says. I never heard that part about the South Park guys. Two things. One, I've never heard anyone accuse South Park of racism. The character Token, I don't remember the episode. Everything they did. Here's the difference between people like Andrew Schultz, podcasters who didn't, who are not quite on the level. They are capable of like full irony. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the idea that he was like, oh, you wouldn't want to work with the South Park guys because Ebro, have you ever heard of South Park being accused of racism?
Well, I mean, I haven't heard him that, but some people don't get their humor. That's a fact.
Right. Well, that's a problem if you're a comedian, but that's neither here nor there.
So the thing is, he wasn't even attacking necessarily Andrew Schultz. He's going at the black dudes, and they apologized. So they got the message. The message is to black people allowing white people to do that to black women.
Well, I think that's Rosenberg's point. That's Andrew Schultz's whole MO. So he can make these jokes. He has black people or people of color sitting there so he can make these jokes.
Right.
Which is why Kendrick Lamar
got on them.
And by the way, it's not just Kendrick Lamar. Like, Kendrick is the one who said that line, but the truth is, bubbling under the surface, there have been people for a long time being like, why is everyone okay with this dude and people of his ilk saying the things that he says? And then his response to it.
But they say the same thing about me, about you.
Nah, they don't. They just don't. That's not true.
No,
they don't.
People say it to me on social media. They're like, why are you covering for Rosenberg? Why does Rosenberg get to say X, Y, and Z? And it goes back to the fact that just because you're white with an opinion, you're not making jokes, though.
I was about to say, that's another part I wanted to throw out there. Yo, guy, I need people out there to listen close, guys. It's 2024, man. Allyship is important. Good people come together at this point, right? It's not about racial lines, it's about good people.
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck Andrew Schultz and everybody he with. Charlemagne, too.
Hey man, shout out. This, like I said, Snoop he is the Godfather out here for show, man. Unc to everybody. He definitely did some. I think we mentioned that on here. That was bullshit for sure.
Like Smack said, he ain't big. Like Smack said, he ain't bigger than the program.
Smack said that?
He was
yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying to say, because it's kind of hard.
You're not bigger
to,
than the program, G.
I ain't talking about no Snoop. I love to sit down with Snoop and shit. I smoke with Snoop.
That nigga moving too fast. That's all.
Look,
Snoop was moving too fast, bro.
That nigga Smack said Snoop has been sanctioned. Come down to this meeting. You're not bigger than the program.
For sure.
Come holler at me real quick. But like you said, we can't get at it because it's going to be disciple. But I need to holler at you, though.
You got to give Uncle a pass, bro. You're old nigga. He was in the moment.
That's what I'm saying. Doc gave him a pass. Yeah, but I got to let you know, too. I got to let the world know, too. Since you did that in front of the world, I got to let the world know.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Woo, boy. You almost.
I mean, he known for doing it. This is his second time. He did it with the East Coast, West Coast shit. He did it.
Yeah, he definitely did that with Pac.
We did the heat of war right now, Snoop. What you doing?
That nigga Pac was hot.
Interesting, yeah.
Go at that shit later, G. We gonna do all that shit later. Right now, we at war.
Ooh, damn.
We at war.
Yeah, no, that's tough, man. Shout outs. And don't text him. Say congratulations, nephew. I see you got that Super Bowl.
That's where you got.
And then you got Cube in there like, the first DOC, Kendrick Lamar was the DOC was the first Kendrick. Like, nigga, what are we talking about in this video?
What video?
But look.
That video he got.
Let me ask you something though.
DOC was the first Kendrick or something, if I'm not quoting it right, but that's what he said.
Let me ask you something though. Is that a violation on Snoop's behalf if I got love for you and I got love for you And I'm just sitting back being a fan of the sport.
So sit back and be a fan.
And you like, nah, nigga, you from the West Coast, side with me. So the term a real nigga, my real nigga action is I fuck with both of y'all. So you want me to not be a real nigga inside favoritism.
That's why he didn't post both songs.
That's where it get tricky.
So
I don't know. That's where it get tricky because it's like people like, nah, nigga with his war, stand with me. And some people like, man, I don't have no hatred for this nigga though.
We don't. We in war though.
You don't gotta have hatred.
I ain't gotta have no hatred,
hatred.
but we ain't gonna fuck with you right now, bro. But look, don't post this nigga shit and don't post my shit.
Nigga like, I ain't got hatred
because
for
they
him,
look
though.
away. We talking about perception.
Yeah.
West Coast team captain, and he gonna post this nigga.
So basically,
with the AI Pac verse,
He was
like,
out- he was
God
out the-
damn.
I feel like Snoop was out the loop.
What's up, guys? Join the millions of fans that played on Underdog last year with the pick of.
You ain't been in the program. Oh yeah, 50 Cent.
Today's show is sponsored by Pink Horsepower. Fellas, when you're down and out, take a shot of Pink Horsepower. Get on the up and up. No need for the panicking. Pink Horsepower leave you stiffer than a mannequin. Pause. Make sure you go to Pink Horse.
Was saying it was on strike, so I was saying I was on tour.
Right.
Because it was like at the same time because they did that. I took the tour and I went through a process with Live Nation before they was willing to do it. I did like 6 shows this when we was doing GLG.
Yeah,
I think it started with 4, damn near.
Yeah, 4. It was 4 joints, and it was like in Germany.
Right.
And they didn't want to support it because they felt like we was gonna have issues because of COVID. So I ended up financing the whole thing.
Right.
And then I had guys that I worked with previously in those markets be the promoters for me, so they did all the logistics and everything for it.
Right.
But the deal was my deal. Like, it was nobody else involved. And then I came back after we did 4. We went back and did 16 more days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm selling shits out campus. It was like our audience has money.
Right.
Like the people who were in college partying in 03, they now grown.
Right.
And success, the habit that they have to have a drink periodically, they got a wine cellar in Success.
Right.
They got a bar at the crib. They casually having that drink at home instead of in the club because their kids are now having the drink in the club.
Right.
and you know, while I'm out on this run, they was willing to come with their kids, it felt like. Because it was like, yeah, nah, I'll go to that one with you.
Right.
That other shit, I don't know what they saying. Like, you know, like the way the new style.
That's a fact. What about you, Yayo? You've been there from the beginning. You enjoying this shit too?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we in the best
Give me my money
hotels,
back,
you
yeah.
know?
You know how much money I made him?
How much you made him? I see you take it.
I'm appreciative. You know what I mean?
I seen you too. So I want to stick to the touring and go into some things that people don't know about you real quick. But I want to ask you, Yayo, I seen you taking some acting classes, 50 posted.
Right.
Do you feel when you see Fifth, do you be like, yo, what's up? Can I get a part? What's happening? Does he tell you, I need acting?
You know how I feel? I feel like Power wouldn't be what it was if he put all his friends in there.
Gotcha.
So I know it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? And he turned everybody, Michael Rainey, all these guys into big actors.
Right.
But some of them been to school for years.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I know it's not just he could just put his friends in there.
Right.
Of course, I want to be in something.
Right.
But you know what I mean? you gotta work for it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's what's up.
And then as for tour, come on, we staying in like Armani Hotel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We staying in Four Seasons.
Right.
We staying in the best hotels.
The
that
best
you
of the
see.
best.
Yeah, and he don't gotta put us in those hotels.
Right.
You know?
Nah, that's what's up, man. Because for me, and
Shout out 50 Cent, he a real nigga. Well, I tried to do my best today with this stream, y'all. If you tune in, fuck with me. If you don't like me, fuck with me. Like, comment, subscribe. The big 3. And ain't no big me. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, fuck white comedians. That's law. Fuck them. Not raw. I don't know. I'm tired. But, if you tune in, thank you for fucking with me. You know what I mean? I like doing this. It gives me an outlet. I feel like everybody should have an outlet. I want to help kids get outlets. I want to help kids get clothes. So, this just taking along with the journey with me. Y'all have a good one, straight.